Welcome guests, thank you all for being here today. Today I'm going to tell you how to kill 3 birds with 1 stone by implementing digital storytelling into university ESL programs. Recently, the Center for Teaching and Learning at Dongnam University, a university that I and James work at, has conducted a study of the Tourism English department. They interviewed 104 of the students, as well as a number of professors from the organization, and they came up with some interesting findings. They wanted to find the perceptions, or understand the perceptions of the students, and also understand the observations of the professors. And what they found was that over 75% of the students at Dongnam University feel that they need more communication practice, often feel bored in class, feel unprepared for life, wish English was more engaging, need to improve their writing skills, wish for more opportunities to improve their English skills, study less than 4 hours per week, feel English is too difficult, and surprisingly, enjoy using the internet and other mobile technologies very, very much. Because of this, the Department of Tourism English asked the professors at Dongnam University to do a little bit of research and to report their findings on a way, or to find out what we could do to increase student motivation toward learning and using English, improve student demonstrable English communication skills, and to ensure that students are proficient in all 8 21st century competencies, synthesized from the education strategies outlined by APEC, the OECD, and the Partnership for 21st Century Skills. Quickly, those 8 competencies are: students at the end of graduation should be able to gather, analyze, and synthesize information. They should be able to do autonomous work by themselves to a high standard with minimal supervision. They should be able to lead other autonomous workers through influence. They should be able to practice creative thinking skills and turn that creativity into action. Students should be able to think critically and ask the right questions, strive to understand another's perspective, and to understand the entirety of an issue. Students should also be able to communicate effectively, very importantly, often with the use of technology, and students should be able to work ethically from the values of their own country, as well as the values that the globe itself, the people of the world itself, hold dear. We're going to come back to that in just a second. So what I am doing here today is offering my findings from the research that I did in order to answer the question that Dongnam's Tourism Department asked of us. I'm going to, very simply, discuss how, or I'm going to show you a way, one solution that we can use to increase student motivation, improve communication skills, and ultimately ensure alignment with the 21st century competencies outlined. The method I used to discover this information included internet searches that basically uncovered a number of sources of information, all of which kind of came out to one interesting way to accomplish the goals that Dongnam is trying to overcome, or the problems that Dongnam is trying to overcome. And it is digital storytelling. So, my suggestion to us all here today is that we implement, that Dongnam Tourism Department of English, Dongnam's English Tourism Department implement digital storytelling into its ESL Tourism English classes. Now I'm going to talk about my reasoning, how I came to this decision that I think we should implement that. By doing that, I'm going to first define digital storytelling. Then I'm going to explain the process of creating a digital storytelling as it pertains to a classroom setting. And I'm going to show how digital storytelling addresses each of the 3 issues that I just talked about: motivation, improved communication skills, and accomplishing or aligning ourselves with the digital 21st century, I have a hard time with words, 21st century competencies. Alright, so first, what is digital storytelling? There are a number of definitions out there. One very, very important man, his name is Joe Lambert, is the co-founder for the Center of Digital Storytelling in San Francisco. He says that digital storytelling is the use of digital tools to tell a personal, real-life story that contains specific point of view, a dramatic question, emotional content, the gift of your own voice, the power of a soundtrack, economy of content, and rhythmic development of story. To me, that's very complex. I don't know about you guys. A simpler definition from Michael Jones, a simple fan of digital storytelling. He says it's the art of taking traditional forms of storytelling, blending them with multimedia to make a short, tightly written, 2 to 3 minute visual narrative. In other words, if you go to this site, if you go to YouTube and you search in the word writing, not waiting, don't do it right now. You search for the word waiting, or the show Waiting by a guy named Nick Stiles, you're going to be able to see what I mean by digital storytelling. This is one of the best digital stories I've ever seen, so I highly recommend it. So that's basically digital storytelling. Okay, so how does the process work inside a classroom? There are, again, a number of ways that the actual definition of digital storytelling is vast. As I'm telling it to you today, David S. Jakes, an instructional technology consultant, says that there are basically 6-step process. It's a 6-step process in the classroom. And it leads up to a finished product of a 2 to 3 minute, as we said, 2 to 3 minute digital story, roughly 20 to 25 images, and a script of about 1 page, double-spaced. The first step involves students writing and writing. They think of a story, they sit down, they write the story. Now, in English language, English is a second language class, this is obviously very difficult, but it's a chance for the teacher to interact and teach the students. They write their story about themselves or about some topic. They write roughly 4 to 5 pages worth of story. And they get it as perfect as they can. And then they go through the process, step 2, of distilling this story, scrunching it down, finding all the essential information, distilling it into a 1-page, double-spaced script. After they do that, they go through a process of storyboarding their script by taking simple drawings and writing the language or the statements that they want to go together with the images. This is a simple version of a digital story that was done from one of my studies. After that, they go outside of class or within class if they can go to the language computer center. They will begin locating multimedia, for example, images that match the images on the storytelling on the storyboard. They begin selecting different sounds that they want to include in their digital story. They begin finding all the various multimedia that they need in order to complete their project. Then they go and they find free programs like Microsoft Movie Maker or iMovie, as it comes on the iMac or whatever Macintosh you've got, and they create their project. They import the pictures, they import the language, they import the songs, and they blend it together, and they make a digital story. Once it's finished, they post it on places like YouTube, or they deliver it in front of audiences like this, in front of their classmates, and receive feedback, etc. And that's basically the story. Okay? Now all of this assumes that teachers are trained. Okay? You can't just have a teacher go in and go, okay, it says step 6, do this. You have to have teachers who are trained in understanding how to help their students accomplish these goals. Okay, so that's an automatic assumption. This report does not go into that so much. Perhaps another state study will later. Okay, the question up here is how can digital storytelling help Dongnam Tourism English Department solve its 3-part problem? In terms of motivation and engagement, according to studies we've got here, we've got a number of studies. It shows that digital storytelling offers the perfect blend of storytelling and technology that has a proven effect of engaging students. All of these authors repeated again and again how important and how influential storytelling is in engaging students and keeping them engaged and helping them to learn certain things. Okay? Almost all of these studies showed that how technology augmented or it helped aid the engagement process. Okay, so it clearly offers a high degree of motivation and engagement, digital storytelling does. Digital storytelling in terms of English communication skills, it offers ELLs, English language learners, a chance to demonstrate greater sentence complexity, language proficiency, and to find and enlarge the power of their voice. Okay, when students post their stories online, suddenly their stories are open to the entire world, and this can be a very empowering thing. It also helps them to learn vital interpersonal communication skills, as well as skills like writing, etc. Okay? All of these are very important, and in all of these articles you can find evidence that backs this statement up. In terms of the 21st century competencies, we've got the GAS for gathering, analyzing, and synthesizing information. We'll go through this very simply. In terms of gathering information, analyzing, and synthesizing information, digital storytelling forces students to research, gather, analyze, and synthesize information and present it and put it into a communicable form. Okay? This is a very, very, very vital skill for students in the 21st century, for people in the 21st century. Okay? A couple of articles that support this. In terms of developing autonomous workers that have the ability to produce high-quality work, it provides students with engagement and opportunity to develop autonomy within a social context. Specifically, Castaneda here, as well as Robin here, talk about how it absolutely helps develop autonomous workers in the language learning situation. Okay? Teaches students how to lead through influence. Allows students to work within a highly collaborative environment. A lot of times students do their work together in groups, and then generally will go off and do things by themselves. It provides each other with a chance to help, provides them with a chance to help each other. And perhaps you might have one student who knows how to do a program better than another. Ultimately, it develops a collaborative spirit, which is very important. Okay? It also helps students to be creative and to take a creative project from beginning to end. It demands a large degree of creativity, obviously, developing a story, and it has, in fact, demonstrated itself as a vital tool for enhancing creativity. Kirk and Pitches actually did a study where they used digital storytelling in university art classes, and actually were able to reveal that it absolutely enhanced creativity. It helps students to think critically. It provides them with an opportunity to learn to ask questions, to organize their thoughts, offer feedback to both themselves and others, and generally develops higher order thinking skills. It also helps students to understand each other. It forces them to think of their audience when they're creating their ideas. It helps when they're writing their ideas, they have to think, how will my words communicate, and how will the audience receive my words? It also helps students, as I mentioned before, to communicate effectively. And most importantly, I think most importantly, is it provides students with an opportunity to learn about ethical expectations of being a digital citizen, as described by Jason Oler in his book published in 2012, including very important things such as respecting the rights of others, copyright laws, etc. So, to answer the question, what can be done to increase motivation, improve communication, and ensure proficiency in the 21st century competencies? I think I've answered that quite well. We can kill 3 birds with 1 stone by implementing digital storytelling into our school's English language learning curriculum. Again, it improves student motivation, increases English communication, and it ensures proficiency in the 21st century competencies. With that, turn control back to our Toastmasters. Thank you for listening.